Chosen one, what would you do if the very people you loved most were the ones draining your soul, siphoning your life force like malevolent shadows lurking in the corners of your existence? Could you walk away, leaving behind the tendrils of darkness that once masqueraded as love? And what happens when those who once devoured your light return, their insatiable hunger now cloaked in feigned remorse, seeking to reclaim the energy they stole from you? "I know I messed up," they whisper, their voice trembling with the weight of unseen forces. "But I've changed, I swear. Just give me one more chance to make things right." Their eyes burn with an unnatural intensity, a flicker of desperation laced with the eerie glow of something sinister. It's as if a hidden entity pleads with you through them, a dark spirit that demands to be let back into your life, to feed once more on your divine essence. You stand in the doorway, paralyzed as a maelstrom of conflicting energies swirls around you. The first surge is anger, hot, fierce, and all-consuming. How dare they, these parasites, these spiritual vampires, show their faces after all the agony they inflicted? But as the anger simmers, it's met with a wave of something more insidious. A pity that tries to tug at your resolve, a whisper from the shadows that reminds you of what once was, how close you once were, before they revealed their true nature. Chosen one, you have always been a radiant soul, a beacon of light that pierces through the darkness wherever you go. People say you're different, special, a shimmering hope in a world often shrouded in shadow and despair. They speak of your compassion, your natural gift as a healer, someone whose very presence can lift the spirits of the weary and mend the wounds of the heart. You've embraced this sacred role, knowing deep within that you were chosen, ordained by the universe for a purpose far greater than yourself. Reflect on those sleepless nights spent as a guardian of the lost, consoling a friend trapped in turmoil, the countless moments when you sacrificed your own needs to lift your partner from the depths, the many times you bore the burdens of your family. Though you wouldn't trade any of it, there's a persistent, haunting whisper within you, a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the air, a tremor in the fabric of your reality that you can't quite shake. It feels like a whisper from the other side, a fleeting shadow in the corner of your mind, a pang of doubt that cuts through the stillness of your thoughts. But you push it aside, convinced it's nothing more than a passing worry, a trick of the mind. After all, you tell yourself, everything is as it should be. You are the chosen one, and you've always been strong enough to carry the weight of the world upon your shoulders. Yet, deep within the recesses of your soul, a question lingers. What if that weight becomes too much to bear? What if the love you give so freely isn't enough to shield you from the darkness that looms on the horizon? One evening, you sit across from your partner at dinner. Their words cut through the air, sharp and barbed. You tell yourself they're just tired, but deep down, you sense something darker, a presence that drains your energy, siphoning your light. A few days later, you're with a close friend, someone who's always leaned on your strength. As you begin to share your burden, they interrupt, steering the conversation back to their own troubles. It stings, not just for the dismissal, but for the way their words seem to draw something out of you, leaving you hollowed, as if they're feeding on your energy. Then there's your family, who've always relied on you. Lately, their demands feel different, like they're no longer requests, but something they're entitled to, draining you dry. Each moment leaves a scar, a sense of being bled by forces unseen. You rationalize these feelings, as you always do, but the unease grows. You can feel it. These energy vampires, these dark spirits, feeding on your light. And you wonder how long before the darkness consumes you. And then it happens. The betrayal doesn't creep in. It strikes like a viper, sudden and venomous, shattering your world in an instant. You discover the truth about your partner, their infidelity exposed by a carelessly open message, a slip of the tongue, or a confession forced out by guilt. The impact is immediate, a brutal shock that rips through your soul. It feels as if an evil spirit has been feeding off your pain, savoring the moment your heart plummets and the ground beneath you disintegrates, leaving you in a free fall of despair. Your best friend, the one you've stood by through every storm, shows their true face in a moment of crisis. Perhaps it's an argument where their words become daggers, revealing a selfishness that slices through the bond you thought was unbreakable. Or maybe it's their abandonment in your darkest hour, a moment when the shadow of betrayal looms large, draining your energy like a vampire in the night, leaving you defenseless and alone. And then there's your family. You uncover a scheme, perhaps financial, perhaps emotional, that feels like a curse, an insidious plot woven behind your back. They've been feeding off your trust, draining your love and using it for their gain, as if possessed by a malevolent force that seeks to bleed you dry. In this moment, chosen one, you feel utterly shattered. The world around you fades into a grey, shadowy existence, as if the colour and vibrancy of life have been drained away by some malevolent force. You are exposed, raw, like a nerve stripped of its protection. It's as if a part of your soul has withered, leaving you to gather the fragments of what remains. Suddenly, the toxic patterns come into sharp focus, the manipulation, the deceit, the way they fed on your kindness like vultures circling a dying light. You recall the moments that felt wrong, the uneasy whispers you dismissed, the times you told yourself it was all in your head. But now you see the truth. They twisted your love, made you doubt your very essence, and used your compassion as a weapon against you. It's a bitter revelation, but undeniable, like a curse that has finally revealed its source. With this clarity comes a deep understanding of the wounds they inflicted, how your best intentions were not just ignored, but exploited. You realize that no matter how much love you poured into them, it could never fill the void within, a void that seemed to devour your energy, leaving you hollowed out and drained. In your attempt to be everything for everyone, you lost a piece of your own soul, consumed by the very darkness you sought to heal. The decision to leave is both liberating and terrifying. As you sever the ties that once bound you, the silence that follows is almost otherworldly, a void where the noise of those who fed on your light used to echo. This absence leaves a hollow space, a chasm in your soul where their presence, both good and ill, once resided. It's as if a part of you has been torn away, leaving raw, exposed nerves that still pulse with the remnants of their dark energy. But with that loss comes something unexpected, almost mystical. A sense of calm begins to seep into your being, like the soothing embrace of twilight after a raging storm. For the first time in what feels like an eternity, you're alone with your thoughts, and the quiet is not as terrifying as you feared. In this sacred solitude, you find a peace that was long buried beneath the weight of their draining influence, a clarity that had been obscured by the shadows of their presence. As the days turn into weeks, you begin to reclaim the fragments of yourself that had been overshadowed and drained by their vampiric grasp. Old hobbies and passions, once forsaken in your quest to heal and support others, slowly reawaken within you. Self-care becomes more than a mere buzzword. It becomes a ritual of protection, a necessary shield to nurture your spirit back to health. Yet even as you heal, a lingering sense of uncertainty hovers at the edges of your consciousness, like a spectre haunting the periphery of your mind. Who are you without those who once defined your existence, without the energy vampires who sought to siphon your very essence? And then it happens. It begins with something small, almost harmless, a text message blinking on your phone screen late one night. The name that appears is one you thought was long buried in the shadows of your past, a name you believed you had exorcised from your life. Your heart skips a beat, your breath catches, as if the very air around you thickens with an unseen presence. For a moment you just stare at the screen, a storm of emotions swirling within. The message is brief, just a few words. "Hey, how are you doing?" Simple, almost casual, as if nothing had ever happened, as if their betrayal hadn't ripped through your soul like a curse. You feel a flicker of something, nostalgia perhaps. A part of you recalls the good times, the laughter, the bond you once shared, but that flicker is quickly snuffed out by the darkness of their actions, the wound they inflicted. You can't allow yourself to forget, not now, not ever. You've come too far and fought too many battles to be dragged back into the abyss. You refuse to let them siphon your energy again, to pull you back into the darkness you've struggled so fiercely to escape. But the contact doesn't stop there. Over the next few days, more messages come, more calls, each one like a whispered incantation, slowly eroding your resolve. They are relentless, as if guided by an unseen force, knowing exactly how to slip under your defenses, how to make you doubt your strength. You read their words, hear their voice echoing in your mind, and despite everything, you feel a tug deep within, as if the remnants of their energy still cling to your soul. Nostalgia entwines with guilt, anger mixes with the faint pulse of the bond you once cherished. You thought you had banished these feelings, but now you're not so sure. They apologize, of course, their words like honeyed poison, saying everything you once longed to hear. "I've been thinking about you," they write. "I miss you." And there it is, that familiar ache, that longing for a connection that was both your solace and your curse. You start to question yourself. Were you too harsh? Did you make the right decision? Could things really be different this time, or is this just another trick of the dark forces that seek to pull you back into their grasp? But then, like a protective ward, the memories flood back. The lies, the manipulation, the way they twisted your love into something sinister, feeding off your light until you were left in darkness. You remember the sleepless nights, the tears that fell like sacred offerings to a heartbroken deity, the way your spirit fractured when the truth was revealed. It's a battle between your head and your heart, between the illusion of what was and the reality of what is. And as much as you want to believe they've changed, you know deep down that some wounds cannot be healed, some spirits cannot be cleansed. As they stand before you, pleading for another chance, you recognize this moment for what it is, a crossroads where the path you choose will shape your destiny. The words they speak, filled with promises and regrets, are the same ones that might have enchanted you once, but now they ring hollow, like echoes of a past that no longer holds power over you. You close your eyes, retreating into the sacred space where your true self resides, untouched by their darkness. In this inner sanctuary, you recall the divine signs that guided you when you were lost, the dreams that revealed truths your waking mind feared to see, the moments of unexpected peace that wrapped around you like a protective cloak, the subtle nudges from the universe urging you to remember your worth, to shield your spirit from those who seek to drain it. These were not mere coincidences. They were messages from a higher power, commanding you to honor yourself, to protect the divine light within you. Chosen ones, you come to the profound realization that while the past may linger in your memories, it has no place in your present or future. The love you once felt, now tainted by betrayal, is no longer enough to outweigh the pain, the manipulation, the dark energy they brought into your life. With this revelation, your resolve solidifies, like a shield forged in the fires of your suffering. With calm determination, you meet their gaze, your eyes piercing through the veil of their deceit. You speak your truth with a voice that resonates with the power of the universe. "I can't go back," you say, each word steady, unwavering, like a spell cast to protect your soul. "I've found peace in my solitude, and I won't let anything disrupt that. I've learned from the past, and I know now that returning would only drag me back into the shadows. This is the end." These words, once so difficult to imagine, now flow naturally, each one a beacon of the strength you've discovered within. There's a finality in your tone, a sacred boundary drawn not from anger or bitterness, but from a deep love and respect for your divine self. Speaking these words feels like a powerful ritual, a release of the last vestiges of doubt and darkness that have clung to you. This moment, this decision, is a testament to the lessons you've learned, the battles you've won, and the powerful being you've become. As your words hang in the air, you watch their reaction. At first, disbelief washes over them, a refusal to accept that their grip on you has finally slipped. But as the reality of your resolve sinks in, their expression shifts. Perhaps they lash out their anger, a desperate attempt to reclaim the control they once wielded like a dark talisman. Or maybe they show sorrow, a hollow regret that cannot undo the damage they've done. Or they might simply accept it, resigned to the fact that their influence once so potent has withered away. Whatever their response, you remain solid, unshaken like a towering force of nature. You watch as they retreat, step by step, their presence fading like a shadow banished by the light. And as they finally disappear, you are left standing alone. But this time, the solitude is different. There is no sadness, no lingering sense of loss, only a profound feeling of closure and liberation, as if the last traces of their dark energy have been purged from your life. You've made your choice, and it was the right one. The truth is clear. You cannot and will not go back. The door closes behind them, and with it, the final chapter of a story that once held you captive. You stand in the quiet of your space, taking in the stillness that surrounds you. This time, the solitude feels different, no longer an empty void, but a choice you've made, a sanctuary you've built for yourself. The emotional storms of the past have finally passed, leaving behind a clear sky, a sense of calm and clarity that you haven't felt in a long time. You take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, and as you exhale, you release the tension that's been holding you tight for so long. There's a lightness in your chest, a feeling of liberation that comes from knowing you've done what needed to be done. The peace you now feel isn't just the absence of conflict, it's a profound sense of harmony within yourself. You've chosen this solitude, embraced it fully, and in doing so you've found the strength you didn't know you had. As the days turn into weeks, you begin to notice subtle changes within yourself, small, almost imperceptible shifts that signal the start of your healing process. There's a sense of calmness that wasn't there before, a quiet confidence that begins to take root in your heart. You find yourself less anxious, less preoccupied with what others think or want from you. Instead, you're focused on your own needs, your own well-being, and it feels right, like coming home to yourself after a long journey. You start to experience moments of deep inner peace, moments where the world seems to fall away, leaving only the stillness of your own mind. These moments come unexpectedly, during a morning walk, while sipping tea, or simply sitting in silence. They are brief but powerful, leaving you with a renewed sense of purpose, a feeling that you are exactly where you need to be. Physically, you begin to feel stronger too. The tension that once knotted your muscles begins to ease. Your sleep becomes more restful, and you wake up feeling refreshed, as if your body is finally catching up with your spirit. You notice that you're more attuned to your surroundings, more aware of the beauty in the simple things, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of birds singing, the way the wind whispers through the trees. These small moments of connection with the world around you feel like signs, gentle nudges from the divine, reminding you that you are on the right path. The divine continues to send you these signs, each one a quiet affirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. Maybe it's a dream that leaves you with a sense of clarity, or a chance encounter that reinforces the decisions you've made. Perhaps it's a feeling of warmth that washes over you during meditation, a whisper in your mind that tells you to keep going, to trust in the process. These signs, though subtle, are like breadcrumbs leading you forward, guiding you through the darkness toward the light. As the days pass, you begin to notice signs of your inner transformation. There's a new sense of connection to your intuition, a deepening trust in your own inner voice. You start to experience moments of profound peace, times when the world around you seems to slow down and you are fully present in the moment. These instances might happen during a walk in the woods, when you spot a deer quietly grazing, or when you're sitting in meditation and feel a sudden warmth in your heart. Each of these experiences feels like a confirmation, a divine sign that you're on the right path. Synchronicities begin to appear in your life, subtle, almost magical coincidences that affirm the decisions you've made. You might hear a song on the radio that perfectly captures your current state of mind, or you may encounter a stranger who offers words of wisdom that resonate deeply with you. These moments, though small, serve as gentle reminders that you are supported, that the universe is guiding you as you continue to grow and heal. As you continue on this journey, you find yourself fully embracing the present moment, free from the shadows of the past and the anxieties about the future. You've learned to find contentment in the simple joys of life. A quiet morning spent sipping tea, a walk through the forest, the feeling of the sun on your skin. These moments, once taken for granted, now hold a deep significance. They remind you of the beauty of the present, the peace that comes from being fully present in your own life. You no longer feel the pull of the past or the weight of unresolved emotions. Instead, you are grounded in the here and now, appreciating the stillness, the calm, and the simplicity of your daily life. The contentment you feel is not just a fleeting emotion, but a deep-seated sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you are exactly where you need to be. This newfound strength and peace are evident in everything you do. Your decisions are guided by a deep understanding of your own worth, and your interactions with others are more deliberate, more intentional. You no longer feel the need to please everyone or to seek validation from outside sources. Instead, you trust in yourself, in the path you've chosen, and in the divine guidance that has brought you this far. The message is clear. Sometimes the greatest strength lies in standing firm, in refusing to look back, no matter how tempting it may be. There is immense power in choosing solitude over company that drains you, in valuing your own peace above all else. As you step forward into this new chapter of your life, do so with a heart full of hope and a spirit that is unbreakable. The challenges you've faced have shaped you, but they do not define you. You are defined by the strength you've gained, the wisdom you've acquired, and the peace you've found within yourself.